Okay. Uh, Hi everyone. We supposed to be with you today, but COVID break the silence and manage our impact. So we didn't arrive. Unfortunately, there was a lot of restrictions from European Union to come. So like really missing all of you and not this year with you. So that's why we're making this presentation online. Kind of another chance to give you a good talk. Our presentation about the story of PandaDoc, we call it Break the Silos, Drive the Impact. That's kind of attempting for less adoption in a big product company. So who's gonna speak? That's gonna be me. I'm Evgeny. I'm from Ukraine. I'm from Scrum Ukraine. Alexey Krivitsky, who's actually a lucky guy, and he joined at the conference because he's living in Germany. We are partners in Scrum Ukraine. So I'm less practitioner from Kiev, probably one of the first certified less practitioner in Ukraine. Greg, I saw him walking. So he was the one who came to Kiev like 3 years ago and made the certification, probably the first one in Ukraine. We have also Ilya Kazimirovsky. He's a VP of engineering in PandaDoc. So he's from client side. Ilya, I'm giving a stage to you, so because you can present a bit yourself and we can start.
Hi guys, yes, my name is Ilya. Today we are going to learn some things about PandaDoc. What is PandaDoc? How we decided to start transformation? What was the reason for that? And how we done it, and kind of results or outcomes we already have since we started, I believe, more than half year ago, and hopefully it will be useful. Before we jump into like what is PandaDoc, I can say that right now we have very hard days in Belarus. We potentially saw some news about our political situation, and 4 of my colleagues were arrested illegally. They did everything properly, but founder of our company, Mikita Mikada, he opened some fund to support military or police, those who will not execute illegal actions forced by our president. And unfortunately, the result after that is that we have right now trouble. We need to relocate people from Belarus to another country, to Ukraine. And thanks to Evgeny, who helps helping us a lot. And also some European entity we also need to open. Let's back to our products. So PandaDoc is a SaaS product which helps to close deal faster. So we have content to document automation platform. So far we have 21K paid customers, which are company, and 55K users. And also starting COVID, we started free e-sign campaign, and we also got from that period of time 92K free users. So the overall our company has like 400 employees. We have head office in San Francisco, another office in St. Petersburg, Florida, and majority of our people, employees are based on Minsk, but now we are relocating to another places. And R&D organization is around 120 people. So why we started transformation? There are a bunch of reasons. I joined PandaDoc a little bit more than 1 year ago. And when I joined, I got some interesting situation. It was 4 units, and each unit had everything they need to be self-sufficient, isolated from others. But the problem with that, most critical tasks were done by just 1 unit, and it was unit editor, who did everything critical, and 75% of organization did kind of not useless, but close to useless work. And since PandaDoc in growth stage, you know, there are 4 stages. Introduce stage, where you search for business model. Growth stage, where you see bunch of customers joining your platform. Then like maturity stage, we are far from that stage yet. And decline stage, where everyone just like Evernote, right? It's like decline stage, no one is using it. So, and once you're in growth stage, it's super critical to have agility, and cross-functional, cross-company teams can survive you during all dynamics which happening on this stage. So it was also silos between all these units, and there is no easy way to have kind of alignment across resources, and everyone just trying to build his own sub-organization, I would say. So as I told previously, we had some challenge. So focusing on something really important was super difficult, because it was just local optimization. On unit level, you can do it, but on company level, you can't do it. It's very hard. And also, if someone start, let's say, quarter, it was super difficult or even close to impossible to change any plans. And it's, you know, on growth stage, super important to have this agility. And we lacked of such agility. And if any new initiatives you want to bring, you need to align all these units, and it's very complex structure, which are absolutely unique in each unit. So it's kind of 4 different cultures, 4 different priorities, 4 different backlogs, and resources are restrict to particular unit. So when I joined this company, and founder of company Mikita and CTO Sergey Borisuk, he asked me to help because he heard about this transformation we did previously with Eugen in Warfusion company, where I've been senior vice president of European operations. And I joined this company and started this drawing ideal state. And ideal state for us is like, we should have transparent, productive engineering organization, which support 2x company growth. We should have stable, high quality, secured, mission critical application, which are able to process 3x more users and 3x more companies. That was our baseline year ago. And also we need to build best engineering culture in Belarus. Why not in the world? Because of English. So once we fix the English, it will be world-class engineering culture. And by the way, right now, I think we already close to be world-class, because all our demo right now is in English, because our VP of product, Bernard, he doesn't speak Russian. So that was like 3 objectives for the whole 2020 year. That was the idea. And vision is to deliver great product, not just great product, but product which customer loves. And we right now asking our team members or our teams, like, talk to customers until they will provide, words like awesome, amazing, some emotions. So if customers say, oh, it's a good feature, it's rejected by us. So we need to make sure that customer will be absolutely happy. It's kind of happy customers. That's our vision. So to apply the change, I'm sure all of you know that playbook by quarter, leading change. So there are like evident 8 steps. So you need to, create urgency, build coalition, form the vision, communicate the vision, remove roadblocks, and all that stuff. So we use that approach to change the mental model for the company, because mental model was like, I can do inside my unit whatever I want, and I have no idea what's going on with my customers or with my company. That is mental model. And I want to change the mindset so they will be cross-functional, cross-component, and able to pick up any work which are most important. So we need to have one backlog, we need to have like one priority, and everyone can focus on it. And that mental model like needs some change. So I've called to Eugene and asking, let's start at least from some basic education. So I have no clue yet. What should we choose? Let's do some kind of basic education, then we'll figure out what's next.
Yeah, that's my part starting here. So fairly saying, I've been contacted by PandaDoc like earlier than Ilya came to work with them. It's about I don't remember, Ilya, you came in August, right? August or September.
September, it was my
yeah.
first.
I've been contacted by Sergey Borysyuk, I believe May or April or something like this. He called to Alexey Krivitsky, and Alexey like contacted us and told like, hey guys, we have a great engineering culture, we have a great product, but it looks like something is wrong in our country. We are not sure what is actually wrong, but it's something is going on wrong. And we told to him, okay, we can come and see what's going on, but like, you know, it's your company and you need to think like from the inside. I told, okay, I'm taking a pause for some time. And then actually Ilya came to work to PandaDoc, and that's the journey started. So yes, Ilya called me and told like, we need to have some basic education. And there was kind of the plan from the early beginning to create some basic education. But actually, we started from the other way around. So we decided to come together with a pretty large group, and the large group, we're saying the group of this amount of people. In this group, we have the representatives from, I believe, all of the parts of the company. So we have product managers, we have QA engineers, we have developers. We have managers. So we had everyone from a different part of the companies came together to speak about the company overall and try to understand what is the dysfunctions of the current company. So we spent the first whole day just speaking about what is the dysfunctions of current structure in the company, what we should do in another way around. We actually built a very beautiful map. The history of the company started from 2009, like the timeline, how the company grew, what was the structure on each step of the company, how many employees they had, what was the goals, and like we came to the conclusion like, okay, in 2019 we have another product, we have another company structure, and we have another goal. So we have to change what we have in the company today to make this goal happening, right? And we brainstormed a plan, I believe, for the whole 3 or 4 days. And it was like Ilya saying, like the American hills. So we are going up, and we almost agreed, and we then going down, and we disagree completely. So we brainstormed the plan. We tried to see whom we have in a company. We tried to see what's the possible structures of the company we might have. We tried to see what is the possible way of managing the company overall we can build, and we come up with a kind of structure that contain next thing. So it's contain actually the one unified backlog.
Eugene, can you back
sure.
Highlight that like we spent almost 5 days in a row in same room by group of like I believe it was like 15 people, and each day we finished like, oh, it's great, now we are ready. And then like next day everyone just like, oh no, hold on, we will be failed. And each day we just started from like, it's impossible. At the end of the day, it's possible. And When it finished on 5th day, I just like expecting like on 6th day, the same story. But on 6th day, in the morning, they told us, Ilya, we good, we can start. I
Yeah,
mean, it was like, it's kind of, oh shit. It was like
yeah.
5 days in a row.
Yes, we spoke a lot regarding, okay, guys, how we can build the structure of our teams so we're not gonna be locked in the rooms, sitting without the customers, not understanding what's going on. So what we should change in our structure dramatically, right? To build another structure that will support like the new goal of like delivering the best product to the customer. So that's why we built the structure that contain one unified backlog. So we decided that we shouldn't have any other backlogs. So we shouldn't split anything to different backlogs. We have one big unified backlog that contain all of the like epics, stories, bugs, technical debt, UX debt, whatever we want, it should be there, and it should be prioritized in one structured list. And we build the product organization vision, Ilya.
Yeah, so the organization, we split it into two, let's say, main streams based on type of customers, which are existing customers, which is delight stream, which needs to some more features to do kind of retention or upsell, and also growth stream is those who like new customers from scratch. And there are different metrics each of this stream, and it's good practice to split organization not based on your, let's say, layers or capabilities, but based on customer mindset, I would say. There are different two kind of mindset, and we started with such splitting. So finally we got to uh, I think it was like 10 teams overall, including mobile. And complexity of our product is like we still have two stacks, Python and Java stacks, and some colors. That's why we have some different colors. Um, it was like our stage of, I think, January. Since that time, it's everything like changed. Now we have ratio 60-40 Python Java, so we are not stack dependent anymore. So it was like two streams, and all those teams can do any work from any part of application, which was also kind of challenge because you need company expert, you need to make sure that tech quality will not be decreased, and all that stuff. So we introduced discovery track, which starts from idea inbox, which scored based on effort and impact on our company. So we also create short list of those great ideas because you need to limit those to 10. And we introduce kind of interesting process, how we understand the problem. We need to convince others on pitch event that that's a real problem which need to be solved. One, it's everyone agrees that it should be solved. We started PBR, or product backlog refinement process, which is not event for us, but a process which supported by 4 gates. So I've introduced unique gate process. So we have design gate, which helps you to have one design across the whole platform. Architecture gate, which makes sure that we are not do any degradation on performance or maintainability or stability. We have also infrastructure and security gate. So there is no new vulnerability, and the new service which will be introduced will be part of the whole ecosystem. And also quality gate, which will make sure that there is no big failure rate or some test coverage or production bugs. So that was kind of our discovery track. And so as I previously told, we introduced 4 gates. And also we have delivery track. So once we finished PBR process, we have backlog ready to start. Any team can pick up any work from the top of the list. And we have 2-week sprints. And after each sprint, we should deliver value to our customers, and it should be proved by some customer quotes. It could be quotes or video by customer which say who is saying absolutely happy or amazing or awesome or something like that. So that was our plan. That was our vision. So we started communication of that vision to the whole audience, also uh, to some focus group, to product team, and we had I believe 3 or 4 times per week Q&A sessions. It was a numerous of one-on-ones. I remember one-on-ones with one of architect. I spent overall 6 hours 45 minutes, if just to sum up all these one-on-ones. And that guy provided me I don't know, like 117 questions, and now he is full like kind of my right hand on technical quality, and helps me to drive the transformation moving forward. So we still need to think about how to handle emergency, how to do like support, what about our quality, how to share some expertise, and like release management, and overall how Scrum will be inside the teams. So we created a bunch of communities, and I personally believe that human has unlimited potential, and team has unlimited potential, like even more, like 10x. So we created this kind of communities and asked people, guys, can you please figure it out? What do we need to maintain the quality on front end, on back end? What about support? And it was very interesting exercise. The people by themselves were able to solve all these challenges without any, let's say, top-down direction. It was completely self-organized events, which helped us a lot.
Yeah. So I just want to make kind of the summary, right? So we decided only on the paper, and we like make the modeling on the paper. So we decided there's going to be 10 teams working on the one backlog. There will be like 2 different streams of work may come to these teams. We also decided that we're going to have teams introduced to product backlog refinement as early as possible, and the first touch point of teams with new ideas coming from product is actually the pitch event. And there, from that point in time, we start making the refinement, and that refinement is actually together with teams. It's not the refinement somewhere closer in the rooms, and then it's like a specification ready and it's given to the team. That's not work like this. So we have teams on board, and we draw this process on the paper. So this is like a very important point. So we make a model of the future company and try to prove on this model how it's going to work. And as soon as we prove this for us, right, and as Leah told us, it took for us about 6 days, right? We decided that we're going to go with this, and like the whole bunch of stuff start happening. And we come up with next implementation timeline, let's say, right? So as we should have the same the one backlog, right? There is the one key thing we need to make. We need to create this one backlog, because the previous setup of the company is in units, right? So they made kind of their part in the big product, but what we actually do as a company. So we should start with the short listing and the initial product pitch. Then we have to train all of the teams how to work in the new process. We also need to form teams, and then we need to make the initial PBR and start the first sprint. So we had kind of the tight schedule. And of course, like Ilya told, like we really believe that the potential of people unlimited. And we decided that we're gonna go with team self-design event. So we first of all train everyone how scaled Scrum works. So we used for this technique actually built by Alexey Krivitsky, Lego for Scrum. We played the less in Lego. Actually, inside this training, we not only play and like make the model of the system works, we also integrated some of the events that we're gonna do with the teams later. For example, we integrated the short presentation of self-design event, and we made the game self-designed for create the teams for playing Lego. And we also made kind of the backlog and made the product backlog refinement. So we made the full emulation of the full process we draw on a paper before. So after that, we actually decided to make the self-design event, and we rented a very huge hall. There was the presentation from the product and from engineering. We created 10 corners of the team. There was the paper with the title of position should take a seat on this. And in 2 or 3 rounds, I don't want to explain how it actually goes. So you all know what is the team self-design event. So we took 2 rounds, and we actually in 2 rounds we created the fantastically new structure. We of course had a plan B, and the plan B was we had a list created by Nikolai Amelishko. He is director of engineering. He created in Excel table. He created the structure, his like according to his vision. So he decided who's gonna be in which team, and that was the plan B. If we didn't form any teams, what if we fail with this exercise? So there was a plan B. Basically, people created, they made better teams that we suppose to have. So they created a better structure. We create a great exercise. At the end of this exercise, we made the star map. So on the star map, we had all of the components that we have in the application, and we have all of the teams. And each team, newly created team, they actually selected the name of the team. And as far as I know, most of the teams currently has the same names. I don't see any changes, by the way. So and each team they draw on the star map what is their knowledge of specific components in the application, so we can see and observe the global picture. How what can our new teams what they can do from the product development perspective. So you may see that some of the teams are pretty strong, like this one. So they have a knowledge like almost everywhere in the app. And we have a less experienced team. So these teams, they will need help as soon as they started the work that is not related to their team. And by the way, we had a rule that for the first couple of sprints, at least 2 sprints, the team will not have a work they're supposed to do in the previous structure. So for example, if these guys, they know very well what is the integrations and Java SDK, more or less we will try not to give them the work related to the features that will have these components. So we are trying to start like knowledge sharing from the first one, from the first sprint. This very visual exercise, I really enjoyed it. So the plan B, in the plan B, yeah, we spent about 3 weeks creating the plan B, and like nothing to say about this. People created a better structure. We also build the definition of ready and definition of done of the new structure. I believe this is very important documents we created before we actually start any development with our newly created teams. So in this point of time, we came up with the product backlog refinement. So after the new year, like the second week after the new year, we start making the product backlog refinement. First of all, we made the training how to make the product backlog refinement, because if you never made it, so you have to be trained on it. So we spent a day training the product managers, leaders of the future, like representatives of the team, product managers, different managers from organization. I believe there were about 25-30 people on this training. I don't really remember exactly the number, So we trained them the technique of making the product backlog refinement, saying a bit about this, like we decided that we will not use Jira for product backlog refinement. We made it actually on paper. So people draw the backlog, they decompose the backlog on the table and then move it to Jira. So we are not using the Jira like the tool everyone is seeing to make the backlog refinement. So how we made the backlog refinement? That was really easy, guys. There was no COVID in that time, so we made it offline and we made the open space. So we had the backlog and we had the zones in the office, and we had the time slots. So each and every feature had a subject matter expert who knew a lot about this feature. For example, Alessia, she knew a lot about the onboarding. So she took the paper from the board and put it to the open space board saying, okay, onboarding, that's going to be discussed from 11 a.m. till 12:30 p.m. in zone A. And like everyone who would like to join the onboarding discussion, they just stand up and go to the room A. And there was a lot of the refinements going in parallel, and like no one is actually sitting in the office and working. So everyone, they've spent the whole time on the product backlog refinement. So there was no one who stayed in the workplace. So everybody in the office, they've been busy with refining the backlog. Also, and this is the important stuff, I think one of the most important stuff, we actually made people move their place in the office. Why? Because this actually the event of breaking the old structure. Previously, they sit in the place like unit to the unit, people inside one unit sitting closer to each other. We decided that we have to stop it because we have a new structure and they have to say goodbye to old structure and start working in new structure. So right after the product backlog refinement, in the same day, and it was Friday, at the end of the Friday, we decided that they have to change places in the office. So everyone stand up and start reshuffling. So we show to them what is the zones of the new teams. They decided who will sit in the new zones. But like if your team sitting in this particular place, you can decide who take which table. It doesn't matter for us. But teams, the new teams should sit together, and they should sit like closer to each other. And we decided completely break the previous old structure. What is also important, right? As soon as we started the stuff with Scrum and large scale Scrum, someone need to work with teams, because this is a big missed part. And maybe you remember the boards we showed to you before. There was the risk listed there, and one of the risks, there was no Scrum Masters. And this is the big problem, because if you never had a Scrum Masters in your company, you have to start like somehow finding them, right? So our plan regarding the Scrum Masters was next. So we decided that we have to hire someone from the market who has experience in this role. And we need to find out the volunteers from the organization who will actually like become a Scrum Master. So the first Scrum Master PandaDoc hired like probably like a couple of days before we made the training for the teams. But then during the training, we told to the guys, okay, guys, if you would like to be the Scrum Masters, if any of you would like to start the role of the Scrum Master, you can do this. So you can try yourself in the role of the Scrum Master. So we had one full-time Scrum Master, and we had kind of 11 volunteers from different newly created teams. And the rule was next. You have a period, you're playing the role of the Scrum Master in the same time as you're playing the role of, for example, QA engineer. You have three options. You may decide that you would like to stop playing the role of the Scrum Master and saying, okay, guys, I played a lot. This role is not for me. I would like to do like some kind of another stuff. This is one option. The second option, person may tell, okay, guys, I still want to play the role of the Scrum Master, but I want to play the role I'm previously played in my team, and I would like to have both of these roles. But in this particular case, we have a group of the Scrum Masters, full-time Scrum Masters, who will help this part-time Scrum Master in some of the situations, let's say like this. Or you as a volunteer may say, okay, guys, I would like to be the one full-time Scrum Master. I don't want to play the previous role at all. And actually, PandaDoc, they hired 2 external Scrum Masters, and 1 Scrum Master became the Scrum Master from the inside full-time, and we had the group of the Scrum Masters previously like played the role of different team members who still playing the part of their role as a team member and playing the part of the role as a Scrum Master. So with all of them, we built the Agile community. So we have the Scrum Master Agile community. There are also engineering managers in this community and various different persons. For example, Ilya is also in this community. So the main objective of this community is actually moving the organization toward agility. And actually, like this community start different exercises, right? Ilya, I would like you probably to continue from this point.
Yes, so you know, if you would like to have some real team dynamics and see how teams are moving, like impact or drive impact, it should be transparency. Transparency from all angles. So we started regular meetings with the leadership team. I was part of it. That's why I've joined this community, because we should provide the full context of what's going on, why we need to do, and all decisions were done by community. So we also did some surveys around how things are going, what's good, what's not good. Like retrospective was very active, I would say. Even today, I mean, almost 1 year we are doing that stuff, and still there are a bunch of improvements, and we are not strict to those rules which we created from the very beginning. And also each product epic has a clear business goal for the sprint, so everyone knows there are some goals for the sprint we need to achieve. Whatever we can do is, I mean, doesn't make any sense unless we reach the goal. And that was really cool experience. Also, we started to become customer centric. So previously, people just, you know, they, next slide, please. People just did kind of review of how many tickets they closed and what was already released. So they literally celebrated releases. And after that transformation, they started deliver value, and our sprint review was absolutely different from that transformation. They started to pick up some quotes by customers. They started doing interview within the customers, and overall demo right now is really interesting. And even US people started joining our calls. I believe Eugene also you participated a few times, right?
That's the best sprint reviews I ever saw in my life. Why it's the best, right? I would like to explain. First of all, it's very well structured. Thanks, I believe, for Scrum Master teams for the great preparation and facilitation of this event. Secondly, like the teams is showing really great demo that works on production. So the demo is happening on production. It's not happening on local host or a staging environment. It's just happening on production. In our definition of done, we have the line saying like your feature is done when it's on production. So we actually showing the sprint review on production. The engagement from the customer, videos from the customers, quotes from the customers, a part of the interviews from the customers. That's really making the shocking effect for the people. Because, for example, we released a feature a sprint ago. On the next sprint review, we can discuss the metrics regarding this feature. And every sprint review, it's not only about the demo of newly released features. It's also the big part of the discovery and understanding what is next in our product. What is the feedback about the work we've done before? So what is the next step? What is our plans? What is our product feedback? is our customers happy or not happy? So it's really fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to avoid some kind of buzzwords, but really success of transformation is collaborative effort. And it's it's kind of freedom and responsibility. If you would like that people have responsibility, you need to give some freedom. And that's what I can see. And let's see some kind of outcomes as of today. So what do we have? Here is a graph of 18 sprints. And I believe first 12 sprints, we just improved and improved and improved from day to day. And that was my decision, like, guys, we need to have kind of vacation, big vacation. And we started big vacation. That's why we have 78 user story completed. And after vacation, we again recovered our normal performance. And then like election, August 8 happened. And of course, we see some degradation, like almost 3 sprints in a row. It was panic, depression, fear, and a lot of circumference because of that. But last sprint, I think we already recovered because everyone just decided we should be stronger. We should be very strong and just show to everyone that you can't beat us by any politics. We will be stronger from day to day. And I believe like next sprint will be again on track around 150 user story, but that's what's happening right now. Also, we can see that our cycle time of user story increased. I mean decreased 3 and 5x. So we can do like faster, 3 and 5x faster. Right now, I think it's 4x faster than before. Also, we delivered for the first 3 quarters, excluding last sprint, which right now I think it's happening, and I believe we'll add 14 more external features. But for now it's 76. It's already 4x more than the whole 2019 list of features. So we already 4x more value provided to our customers. So we finally launched Gates. So first version of Gates was very basic. Now I believe it's much more stronger, and we are doing a great job on it. We still have 2 communities, Agile community and Tech Quality community, which helps us to overcome any complexity. And as of today, we have 15 teams, and still we use less. It's not like less huge yet, but I mean we still have less. I know that there are some limit of 8 teams for less, but looks like we overcome that limit. Overall, all teams rotated on duty, and for me personally, it's huge surprise. Usually, support duty is boring stuff, but in case of PandaDoc, I see some absolutely opposite scenario where people absolutely happy while doing hard work during support, and we fixed 900 issues from Zendesks. We have just average time to reply 1 day. I mean, all these numbers are terrific. So you can't even expect 5x less out of these numbers in year ago. So
Yeah.
supporting duty is absolutely terrific in case of us.
I just want to add, one of the team for 1 sprint is actually on duty. So we are rotating the team every sprint. So every new sprint, there is the special event where the previous team given the task to the new team who is on duty, and it's rotating every sprint.
Yeah, and also very good sign of successful transformation was happened right after COVID started. And our founder had just idea, guys, we need to help the world. We need to provide them ability to sign electronic documents from their houses. And we need to create free e-sign product. And you can't even expect, but we were able to build this product from, I mean, for 16 hours only, from idea to the production launch. 16 hours, because 35 people just, I mean, they self-organized, created, there are some scrum masters, and they did all the work for 16 hours. And to me, like, I can't even expect in normal way, you need like 3 months to launch at least like even small product, but you need to, I mean, it takes time. So that was really, really cool. Overall, once we did kind of survey how things are going, we had some statistics from 2018. When I joined company, unfortunately, we don't have data, but it was like 25% attrition. So I don't think we had even like positive NPS. And as of end of Q2, we again have 74 eNPS for PandaDoc. Looks like people are right now really, really happy. So let's just kind of do summary what outcomes we do have. So like impact of everyone is obvious. We have right now transparency and partnership between product and engineering. There is no distance between customer and developer teams, which is absolutely crucial. And I believe that's the secret of success. You need to decrease this distance. And also we improved our delivery time, our flexibility, we can change the plans, and we can be innovative, and it's still awesome place to work. There are some quotes from our founder. You know, he asked, Nikita asked Sergey, how much important versus not important we are doing now? Because in 2019, answer was like, we are doing 5% important, 95% we are doing just work. And right now response is like, we have capacity for important stuff only, because just one backlog, and you can't do, you know, useless stuff on the top. Only important stuff we are doing right now. So what's next? We need to grow. Our investors are super happy, and they would like to double R&D organization. And you know, we need to create this kind of platform roadmap, engineering roadmap. We need to invest more into cross-company teams. It should be more predictability. And what we decided that 2021, we should build more capabilities to adapt into sales world. So we should also introduce kind of workflow automation and other big stuff. So we started thinking about like how to manage this big number of teams. Even today, at the end of year, it will be 20 teams. So we again started thinking about customers, and we split it all organization. I mean, we will split. It will be beginning of 2021. Applications, those who almost live inside our application, core product solutions of market. Partners and API, those customers who use PandaDoc is kind of add-on or integration, like Salesforce, Pipedrive, others who use our public API or integrations. Infrastructure is kind of services, which supports all this like 20 plus teams. And also we continue to, with growth area, which focus on acquisition, adoption, and monetization. So before we jump into this less huge change, we did kind of intermediate step. We introducing tracks. So as of today, we have 4 tracks. Solution track, which is part of application future. Core feature track, which will be also part of application. Tech stability is just because, you know, we have a lot of debt, and this track should be disappeared in 2021. It's kind of exception. And growth and mobile track. So that's our current state, and we are going to move on to less huge. That's it. Thank you, guys.
I just want to add one small thing because you didn't tell it, but it's really great ideas. Stop me if it's an NDA. So try to stop me if it's NDA. The global idea is like this under discussion. This is the initial state, and we're gonna have in 2 weeks from today. We're gonna have another kind of strategic session coming up again together and speak about what should be the structure of the organization 2021. So that might be some changes here. That's also another important stuff. So we would like to keep the structure and the organization as flat as it's possible, so not growing any management layers, levels, or additions to the structure. So we want to keep it as flat as possible, and the teams are not linked to the tracks forever. So there's going to be adequate water movement of the teams between the tracks. So I'd like to have kind of the duty in the track for the teams, not only the duty on the support, but also the duty on the track. For example, if I'm working in the team who is working, for example, in growth, so it's a huge dynamic there, a lot of R&D, a lot of challenges, and a lot of stuff coming up from the clients. So that's experimentation, right? In some point in time, we're gonna be moving to the solutions. So in the solutions, that's more stable and predicted development, kind of this stuff. So we would like to move the teams between, so there will be no silo structure, and we can easily change the amount of the teams between the tracks. So if we want to relocate some team from track A to track B, we can easily do this. That's probably it.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any questions?
I have a question.
Can you use that mic?
We can hear you, but not so well. You know, it's.
Oh, we can.
Oh,
there.
We are in a similar size adoption, similar amount of people. And when we started the adoption, we also had a lot of communities of practice, but we had it was not very effective. Also some problems and also some functional communities of practice with like the old functions, which were basically the old departments. It's kind of dysfunctional. So if it was working for you, could you share what kind of things works for you there to help the teams increase learnings and things like that?
Ilya, it's a question probably for you regarding the
You can start, then I can contribute.
Okay, as far as I understood the question regarding the communities, like how did we manage them efficiently, right? So actually, you saw on the first slides, we started a lot of communities. That was much more communities probably that we needed, and some of them just didn't survive, and that's it. So they've died along the story of the transformation, and we are okay with that, because people start in the communities and they stop in the communities, and the community is surviving while it has some value for the organization. I believe why agile community is still kind of alive, right? And it's growing because it's a lot of changes, and the guys who start in the job of Scrum Masters are very proactive. So they introduce it, for example, their work is kind of the experiments. So they introduced a lot of the experiments, for example, working with product backlog refinements. We started with one format of backlog refinements, and for the last 7 months, it's changed, I believe, about 4 or 5 times. So we made a mixed backlog refinements. We made the team backlog refinements. We made a mixed cross teams backlog refinements. And there was a lot of the experimentation with that. So they were very busy with this. Regarding the engineering community, Ilya can tell probably more about this, right?
Yeah. So I can say that overall, the way I see how communities are working, I mean, it's kind of as a restaurant. So restaurant itself is good. but you can choose one because of something. There is atmosphere, there is some, you know, good relationship, or even good food. Sometimes it happens. So community is similar to that. If you have good chief, like those who lead in community, it's always interesting to join. So to me, like, it's natural, it's organically happened. So 2 communities still alive, three died, which is good. I mean, and it's not necessarily means that those 3 were, who died, I mean, their like was very bad from overall perspective. It's just because of, you know, you need some kind of leader and engagement and all the stuff. So for now we have 2 and we are happy with that.
More questions?
Evgeny, it's great to see you again, even if it's
Hi,
remote.
Greg.
Wish you were here. Ilya, and both of you, thanks for sharing so many pertinent and detailed aspects of the transformation there. It's all this content is very helpful, and it's quite a bit of courage to share all of that. I had one question that I think the response would require quite a bit of courage also. When your investor wants to double down and maybe go from 15 to 30 teams, what does the conversation look like that you would have about why they shouldn't do that?
Yeah, so that was my question. Why do we need 30 teams for the same product? And our investors, they just like absolutely impressed the way how we change our ROI from year to year. We increase from like 50%, we go into 62, and looks like we are going to 80. So they already looking for us as a successful community who can drive series of products. And even today, they would like to have kind of PandaDoc suite, not just this application, but also a bunch of others on top of this platform. And it's not about like make 30 teams for the same product, but it's more expansion into a different industry. So it's kind of good signals that we are moving to mature enough, maturity stage, where you need to have kind of extend.
You asked a detailed aspect of that. So while it's a nice compliment that they see what they like, what they see, and they want to invest more.
Greg, I'm not sure we can hear you well.
Okay.
You should repeat it.
I understand that it's a nice compliment that they like what they see and they want more, but the likely consequences of doubling your size in like a year or 2 is you would become much slower. So I'm unaware of whether you have this conversation. You can have the conversation with the investors about give us more money, but we'll pay people more instead of hiring more people. It's a hard conversation, and I'm wondering if you've had it.
Yeah, it's good one. By the way, you know, investors, let's say their world is numbers, right? And they know if they would like to speed it up growth, they also need to know how to invest. I mean, in what's the ratio, proper ratio for R&D versus overall investment. And that's why, because we are doing great, and our, let's say, R&D around 20% out of our revenue, which is less than they expect. They would like us. It's good conversation. We can ask, please double our salary.
We also understand that like doubling the engineering size will double probably the problems, kind of dysfunctions, because every large company is more dysfunctional than the small company. We all understand this, and there will be kind of internal conversation. What is the dysfunctions we can live with? I would say like this.
Okay. Hi, Ilya, Evgeny. I have a question. What did not go so well? So now you told us all the success stories. What did not go so well? What would you avoid doing again? Yeah,
so I would say expertise sharing. I would say we are not very successful was at the very beginning, because it was, again, we had, I believe, 10 company experts, and those people were super busy by educating others, but while they're doing that, they still become bus factors. So those knowledge still relevant only on expertise level. So that's why these tracks is kind of the way how to solve this problem. So the team will leave, let's say, the whole quarter inside one track with, I would say, 7 to 8 services. So the expertise will be much bigger. So I would say sharing of expertise is not good enough. Also, while we are doing this cross-functional teams with 2 backend, 2 front-end, and QA kind of feature teams, quite often, I would say the user story, they're not balanced properly. So the whole team can be focused on one goal. And sometimes those, let's say, kind of leftovers, let's say front-end guy, they need to pick up some bugs or another stuff outside of team goals. And that's, to me, like, it's still not really, not works really well. But for big rocks, we have big rocks, stones, and let's say desert. So I mean, for big rocks, we have created kind of setups. So it can be a combination of 3 or 4 teams for like 1 or 2 months. I think for big rocks, it works well. For stones, it works not that good. And for the rest, it's just absolutely different tasks. So the team itself has no one unique goal. That's, to me, like, it's still we are on progress. We didn't solve it yet.
I want to add one more thing. You know, from system thinking, there are some system archetypes, and one of the archetype is success to successful. It's when the starting position of one team, for example, is better than another team, and like the better team becoming a better team every next round, and like the guys who started in the worst position, they like stay on the same level. It's like rich people become richer and the poor people become poorer. So we had this problem also because the team disbalance in knowing all of the components, and you saw this huge amount of components they have. So you cannot know all components, and there were the teams who didn't know a lot, and we had more challenges in these teams than in the other teams who know more from the component side. So you need to keep track on this, and you have to invest more time to these teams, and like it might be something we should approach, like maybe, you know, if I'm doing this team self-design exercise for this particular company a second time from the beginning, I would manage this another way around. I will make 2 rounds of self-design. They're making this star map, and then based on this star map, making the third round of probably adoption and redesign of the teams based on the component setup we had. So it might be more helpful, I would say.
Yeah, and PBR itself, I would say it was not very successful from the very beginning. It was lacking of details, lacking of expertise, and finally we were not able to complete. Now I think we have much more stronger PBR because it's not event, it is process right now, and it helps a lot because teams are involved from idea to production rollout. Like which is change which we did, like I think 2 months ago. So we are not like always successful. Yes, there are a bunch of failure. Overall, it is success, but I mean from time to time you still have. So for example, at the end of Q2, we were not able to release inline comments. It was huge feature, big rock. And because we tried to like do some experiments with team setup and just kind of reshuffle the teams, and I believe we did a lot of mistakes. Now we release it, but not yet adopted, by the way. So it's not always success, but I mean it's life. You need to. We are not trying to do everything without mistakes. Mistakes is good. We are learning.
One last.
Yeah, guys. So first of all, can you hear me?
You need to talk with both.
Oh, need to talk.
Yeah, we can hear you very well.
Okay. So first of all, thank you for the talk, and it's hard time in Belarus, so keep strong. My question is, you mentioned that teams are getting closer with customers, and one of aspects is teams interviews. So can you share some details of which kind of conversations happen on these customer interviews or team interviews?
Yeah, okay. So I'm a big fan of this Marty Kagan book, Inspired, like products which customer loves. And before we jump in to solve the problem, we ask our teams to make interview, because we are crazy fans of analytics. So we have speed CSAT, we have like overall CSAT, NPS, and all this kind of different survey which we are doing with our customers. We have the data, and we need to have interview with those unhappy customers just to understand what's going on, what's the provenance, and all this stuff. So we have two kinds of interviews. If there is a problem, we have interview with the customers, and if we deliver something, we would like to make them like early adopters and make sure that it's fully adopted. So that's why we have different set of questions for these two types of interview: when we present and when we discover.
Thank you. Okay, thank you very much. I'm going to stop the call.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.